What's going on, fellow gamers and cosplayers? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of MSP Reviews. I'm one of your co-hosts, Manny, or ThatCosplayGuy, and today we're checking out Final Fantasy Type-0 HD for the PlayStation 4. Story. Our journey takes place in the land of Orience, divided by 4 nations or crystal states. Your nation, the Dominion of Rubrum, controls the Vermilion Bird Crystal, which gives you the ability to wield magic. The 3 neighboring states have crystals of their own, giving them unique abilities as well. Among them, the Militesi Empire have taken it upon themselves to become the dominant faction in the region, utilizing their crystal for the power of science and weapons as indicated by their name. As a student of the elite few, the Vermilion Peristelium, your job is to lead your fellow cadets into battle and to defeat the Militesi Empire by any means possible. The funny part is that somehow you have to find time to do this in between classes, raising chocobos, and buying sexy swimsuits for your dream girl. Presentation. Saying the game is a high-definition port of its predecessor is a mixed bag of results, to say the least. In some areas, environments are unique with vibrant colors and attention to detail. However, in some levels, I noticed washed-out colors with an almost grainy look to them. One would argue that this was intended for the effect of creating a gritty experience, as the plot would suggest with war and the death of innocents. But one feature I couldn't ignore was the laughable presentation of in-game characters. We get that the characters of Class 0 are special, but I didn't realize that this meant they were among the entitled few to receive the HD makeover. Unlike their Class 0 counterparts, it seems like most of the villains and NPCs were struck by the ugly stick and maintained their original avatar designs from the PSP release. Lastly, I've seen in other reviewers' comments about the blur cam that occurs when you move the camera too quickly. For me, this was not a game breaker, but a feature that adds to the sense of action and danger, more of an annoyance that you quickly forget over time. Gameplay. If I could sum up this game in 2 concepts, I would say time management and jaw-dropping action. Remember how I mentioned earlier about juggling tasks throughout the game? Before each story mission, you're given a designated amount of time to spend it as you see fit. Naturally, this amount will expire based on the activities you partake in, whether it's raising your chocobos, accepting side quests, or hitting up the local arena to level up some of your characters. But for me, what never gets old is pulling off insane combos or instant kills. You'll find yourself in many near-death situations, only to be quickly revived at the last minute by one of your classmates. And for those unfortunate instances when you or one of your classmates is incapacitated, fear not, as you can summon another one by the touch of a button. At this point, you might be wondering if this is any indication of the game's difficulty, or lack thereof. To anyone's surprise, quite the contrary. If you or your classmates are dropping like flies, then it's time to switch up strategies. Each student has their own unique weapons and movesets, which can make them either a formidable adversary or a useless vegetable, depending on the given situation. How you manage your team and the skills available to them will ultimately decide the fate of the battle, but your overall experience with the game. Reactivate. Final thoughts and conclusion. It's amazing how far this game has come from being a Japanese exclusive for the PSP to a localized and fully English-dubbed PS4 release. The name Final Fantasy has a way of turning heads, whether it's for the better or for the worse. What separates this game from the franchise is its unique pick-up-and-play ability without needing a strategy guide by your side. The story is straightforward, but does an admirable job at depicting the horrors of war and how the deaths of the young and innocent are often forgotten. This is not to say that the game is entirely flawless, as we saw with some parts of the presentation. However, you don't buy a game like this to watch a 5-star movie. It's about the experience, and I can vouch that this game delivers in that aspect, which is why I give this game a rating of 8 out of 10, a definite buy for the PlayStation 4. Let Square Enix captivate you once again, or for the first time, with an experience that I guarantee you'll keep coming back to. Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of MSP Reviews. I'm one of your co-hosts, Manny, or ThatCosplayGuy, signing off and saying, see you next time.
When 9 and 9 meet 9, the depths of reason shall stir. When the seal of creation is broken, a voice like thunder shall sound, and thou shalt know. We have arrived.